Hi, this is Mr. Muhammad Salah again. Welcome to our new lesson, which is lesson 11.5. Before we start our today's lesson, we are going to talk about some information that I need. Some informations that I need. Alright, the first one is a right angle, which measures 90 degrees. And if I separate it into two angles, into two parts like these, 40 degrees and 50 degrees, of course, the sum of them equals 90 degrees. The second information is a straight angle. A straight angle measures 180 degrees. And if I separate it into two parts like this, 60 degrees and 120 degrees, of course, the sum of them give me 180 degrees. And the third information, that all angles that inside a circle equals 360 degrees. And this is the third fact that we have studied before in the previous lesson. And the fourth one is similar to the second one here, but in the other side. There is a right angle which measures 180 degrees, and if I separate it into two parts, the first part equals 40 degrees and the second part equals 140 degrees. So the sum of them gives me 180 degrees. Alright, let's start our lesson today, problem solving. Unknown angle measures. Alright, let's see the first unlock the problem. If you have this polygon ABCD, and I want to ask you some questions about this polygon. The first question is, what angle is separated into two parts? Look at the polygon perfectly and look for the angle which is separated into two parts. Exactly, you will answer it's angle P. It's angle P. Angle P is separated into two parts. The first part, as you see in the polygon, measures 45 degrees, and the second part is a known measure. Alright, let's see the next question. What does angle P measure? Look at this. Can you see a square corner? Great job. All measure of angle P equals, great job, it's 90 degrees because I can see a square corner. So it's a right angle, and right angle measures 90 degrees. The third question, do you have a completely angle? Do you have a completely angle? What do you mean, teacher, about completely? What do you mean? Completely means the sum of all parts. The sum of all parts. Don't forget it. Completely means the sum. The sum of what? Of all parts. The sum of all parts. Sum of all parts that I talk about. All parts or angles. Alright. Now, what should I do, teacher? What is the required? The required is the measure of angle X, the measure of the next part. What should I do to get the missing part, the missing measure? You should to subtract. So you're going to subtract. Subtract what? 90 degrees minus 45 degrees. So you will get the last part, 45 degrees. So the last part or the second part, the second angle measures 45 degrees. I hope all of you understood this part. So let's go to the next part. I have a new idea. Try another problem. Find measure angle HJL. The question says find measure angle HJL. Can you see HJL? This angle HJL, which measures X, because it's a known measure. I don't know what is it measure. Now, you should to ask yourself two questions, at least two questions. First one, do I have a completely angle? Do I have a completely angle? There is no completely angle, but you should to discover it. You should to discover it. Here, I can notice that. I can notice the big angle represents a straight angle. The biggest angle, which is HJK, represents a straight angle. And I have the measure of the biggest angle. It measures 180 degrees. Great, of course. So, now, a straight angle KJH equals 180 degrees. I'm gonna use it to get the missing part. So, I'm gonna subtract. I'm going to subtract. Subtract what? 180 degrees minus 55 degrees equals 125 degrees. So, x equals 125 degrees. Let's practice share and show part. In page 629, question 1, Laura cuts a square out of scrap paper as shown. What is the angle measure of the piece left over? As you see here in the polygon, Laura cut a square. Alright? Laura cuts a square out of scrap paper. Okay? And he asks me about, and the question asks me about, he asks me about the measure of the piece left over, which is x. Alright, let's ask ourselves all questions that we have asked in the first unlock problem. Question 1. Do I have a completely angle? Great. I have a completely angle, teacher, which is the biggest angle can I see? 115 degrees. Right. And can you see another thing? Yes, teacher. I can see one part is a right angle, so it measures 90 degrees. Great job. So I'm gonna subtract now. I'm gonna subtract. Subtract what? 115 degrees minus 90 degrees to get the piece left over, which measures 25 degrees. So x equals 25 degrees. I hope you understood this part. Let's go to question number 3, which is related to question number 1. Share and show. Here question number 3 in part on your own, which is related to question 1 in part share and show. Think smarter. What if Laura cut a small square as shown? Would measure M and Q be different? Explain. As you see, the question says, if Laura cut a small square, would measure X be different? Explain your answer, then look at my answer. My answer is measure X or M and Q or M and Q still be 25 degrees. Only the size of the square changed, and all angles did not change. This is my thinking. Let's see question 2 in share and show part. Jackie trimmed a piece of scrap metal to make a straight edge as shown. Jackie Jackie trimmed a piece of scrap metal to make a straight edge as shown. What is the measure of the piece she trimmed off? What is the measure of the piece she trimmed off? The question asks me about measure of x. The measure of x. Okay, to solve this problem, ask yourself the same questions that we follow. Do I have a completely angle? Yes, I have a big angle, which is 225 degrees. 225 degrees. Great. 225 degrees. And what should I do now? I'm gonna subtract. I used to subtract. Subtract what? The completely angle minus what? I can't see anything, teacher. But you should to notice that this part is a straight angle. This part is what? Is a straight angle. And it measures 180 degrees. So you should to subtract it. I'm gonna subtract 225 degrees minus 180 degrees equals 45 degrees. Great job. So x equals 45 degrees. Great job. It's easy. Let's go. Question 2, which in page 631 in the page of your homework. Alright, I put it here to make you practice. Please read and answer. An artist is cutting a piece of metal as shown. What is the angle measure? What is the angle measure of the piece left over? Ask yourself the same question. Do I have a completely angle? Yes, I have a completely angle, which is 225 degrees. Do you have another angle, another clear angle, another clear part? Yes, 130. What should you do now? So I'm gonna subtract. So I'm going to subtract 225 degrees minus 130 degrees. Exactly 95 degrees. So let's go to question 4. Go deeper. The map shows Marco's paper road. When Marco turns right onto Center Street from Main Street, what degree turn does he make? Stop here again. The map shows Marco's paper road. Look at here. This is the map. When Marco turns right onto Center Street, look. Marco is here in this place. When he turns right onto Center Street from Main Street, what is the degree? Look, what degree turn does he make? He asks me about this part. He asks me about the measure of X part. Oh, what fact should I use to get the measure? I can see here the first part, here's the second part, and here's the third part. Ask yourself the main question. Do you have a completely angle? Do you have a completely? Of course not. The sum of them gives me what? 90 degrees, 125 degrees, plus x, all of them in a round way, in a circle, all of them inside a circle. So you will use a fact 360. 360 minus what? Tell me the answer as a comment after you're watching Thank you for your listening and your watching. See you next time. Bye bye.